Now let's turn to the U.S. election now, and Vice-President Kamala Harris says she's deeply honored to have secured enough delegates to win the Democratic Party nomination. Next, she'll be nominating her pick for vice president, and there's been plenty of speculation around who that might be. Governor Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania is reportedly on the shortlist, as is Mark Kelly, governor of Arizona, and Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota. Just a few of the names we've been hearing. In any case, Kamala Harris and whoever she chooses will be setting off on a tour of battleground states next week. Jamie Harrison is the chair of the Democratic National Convention. He has expressed his delight with having Vice President Kamala Harris confirmed as the Democratic presidential nominee.
So as chair of this great party, as chair of this party that is built on hope, I am so proud to confirm that Vice President Harris has earned more than a majority of votes from all convention delegates and will be the nominee of the Democratic Party following the close of voting on Monday. The outpouring of support we have witnessed for the vice president has been unprecedented. We knew your ballots would come back quickly, but the fact that we can say today, just one day after we open voting, that the vice president has crossed the majority threshold and will officially be our nominee next week, folks, that is simply outstanding.
Now let's speak to our correspondent, Nomia Iqbal, who's in Washington, to give us more context to this. Nomia, Harris is now officially the nominee. That perhaps wasn't a surprise. Now all attention will be looking to see who she picks as VP.
It wasn't a surprise. I mean, it's less than 2 weeks since President Biden stood down and the Democratic Party quickly coalesced around Kamala Harris, and now she has got she's passed the threshold. I mean, the virtual roll call will continue in terms of delegates saying who they want as the nominee until Monday evening. But yes, she has now got the nomination, and all she has to do is accept it, which will happen at the Democratic National Convention. By that point, we will also know who her running mate is. There's lots of different people on the list, governors, senators. You mentioned Josh Shapiro there. There's also the Kentucky governor, Andy Beshear. There's the Arizona senator, Mark Kelly. And they will all be having interviews, we understand, over the course of the weekend. When Ms. Harris announces them, we're not quite sure. It could happen at some point over the weekend. Certainly we'll know by Tuesday when she holds a rally in Pennsylvania with the pick, and that has led to some speculation that it could possibly be Josh Shapiro because he is the governor of Pennsylvania.
At that point, it'll be full steam ahead with campaigning till November.
It will be. I mean, she has a very short amount of time to really get out there and sell herself to the American people. I mean, even this whole process of picking a VP, I'm not quite sure how long it took Barack Obama to pick his VP, but it was definitely months and not weeks, which is what she has. And it is less than 100 days before the election. And so she is hitting all the battleground states. She's got a rally coming up, I think, nearly every day next week. But once she has the VP in place, I think that will help her to really sell the message that the Harris and whoever the VP is on the ticket want to sell, and today is that first step towards her really getting out from behind President Biden's shadow.
And Nomia, just quickly before we let you go, has there been any reaction from Donald Trump to today's events?
Not yet. Donald Trump has already criticized Kamala Harris getting the nomination, calling it a coup, and Republicans have said that it's unlawful because President Biden secured millions of votes during the primaries, but legally that's not actually accurate because President Biden was never officially the nominee. That would have been the case if he had become the nominee at the DNC, which he won't be now. We know that Kamala Harris will be. But I think we can expect Donald Trump, if he does react to continue with that line of attack on Ms. Harris.
Thanks very much for that. Nomia Iqbal speaking to us from Washington.